Okay, perfect. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Welcome, 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 you guys. We are super excited, as you all know, that we continue to get more and more organized. We also, we try to empower people to lead team calls and things like that. We have different people sharing a lot of the times, and then sometimes it would just kind of bounce back to Kristen or I. And so what we're doing now is actually there's going to be a couple of different people every single call that are going to be kind of in charge of leading the call. So once you're 5K and above, we're going to start to bring you guys on as leaders on the team. We really want you guys to dive into that leadership and just be present. We want to hear your voice. We want to, hand over that leadership and help you to grow your voice and your face as a leader on Legacy and Soul on Fire. And hold on. I don't think we need the schedule per se. Kristen has already come up with a schedule for us for forever out, which is awesome. I think we're going to make a calendar, right? We could share the schedule, I guess, if we needed to. But yeah, so starting tonight, we are going to start our new format. It's going to look like we're going to have some team announcements. We're going to have some team wins, and then we'll have the speaker. And then, we just really want to be aware of your guys' time. We really want to highlight people as we can. That'll go for like 3 to 5 minutes. And so that's kind of what it's just going to look like from here on out. So tonight we have Satinka, we have Ashley, and we have Amanda. And so Satinka is going to go ahead and go first. And I'm super excited that you guys are all here. So I'm going to mute.
So I've got announcements, and the first one, most important, is the Calm Kids group. Most of you have heard the ladies talking about that in the case study. And basically, I'm sure most of you have noticed, the more that we do these groups together, we need your support and contribution, because that's what makes the group successful. Albeit you're doing check-ins, you're posting information, or announcing whatever. So just always check with your upline on that. And also, I think it started, so if you still want to use that as a tool to invite people to, I would imagine you still can be a part of that. So make sure, again, you talk with your upline directly and get the information on that and add people to it. And then the mindset group started today, and you still can join, and you're going to hear it 5,000 more times, but ask your mentor. Don't pretend you don't know where to find it. And then, yes, eventually it would be a good idea that you make yourself a note. Like, if I need to find this, make yourself a flow chart. I don't care, because I've had to literally put notes on my phone where to find stuff, because Facebook can get tricky. But if you want it, you're going to find it. So Mindset Group started today. That is for specialists and for training. And the Calm Kids was for your members or prospects that you are now mentoring. And then also, the happy hour, the team-wide one that we do once a month. I actually have them on my calendars. I think it's the second Wednesday of every month. Can I get a nod? Is that it? Yes, second Wednesday on every month. So even if you need to put that on your personal calendar, use that as a tool to invite to, because it's going to be fairly consistent that you have something to invite your people to next. And then the BizOp one is always the following Wednesday, the third Wednesday of every month, until something changes and we need to adjust. That's where they are on the calendar. And those, I think, you always revisit the same pages, but there's events, I think, posted in there for you to get the link. And you guys know how most of you do it. You invite, and then you get to give them the link to the call. We don't just give them the link and let me know if you can make it, because they ain't going to make it. So that's what I have for announcements. And our team locally, if you need something quick and you have anybody talking about detox or wanting to do a cleanse or anything, we did do one. just 14 days. It started today, and we can hook you up if you need a platform to share, invite anybody to that. Just let us know if you need that space too. And then just like every other group, we need your help to make it successful and just need you to contribute.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, the legacy calendar, Melissa runs that. And Wendy, if you reach out to Melissa Verhulst, she can get you set up on that calendar. You're welcome. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. All right, Ashley, you want to talk about some wins for us?
I hope everyone had a good week so far. I just told everyone, be quiet. But so the first, I just wanted to know if anybody had any personal wins, or even if, your partner or teammates had a win that you want to shout them out about. So, anybody?
I can go.
Holly, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's early in the month, which is great, but I've already added a new client today, so I'm really super excited about that. It's one of my coworkers. And oh God, I had another one and it went right out my head. Oh well, I guess it wasn't important. There were two. I had two. I had two, but one's gone. And I can't remember what it was. It's sad. That's anyway. So it's starting out to be really exciting. I'm hoping everyone's feeling the same. So far, identifying no suspects.
Sylvia, did you have one or? Anybody else have a win they want to share this week?
I'll go. So I had to go to, where did we go? We went to Tri-Cities, which is about a 3.5 hour drive east. And I have a new group over there that they're all Spanish speakers. And so I was kind of excited about that, but it's such a long drive, and then we drove our electric car, so we had to keep charging. It was just like such a pain. So I said to my husband as we arrived, I said, okay, I don't have to go again in person. I can do everything now remote, and this is the last time we have to go. And when she walked in, she says, okay, someone's coming to the happy hour tonight, and she and her mom want to do the soul business with you. And she already has 10 people for the next happy hour, so you need to come back in November. So I'm going back in November. So anyway, that was exciting. So we had 7 people come. We had 3 people that couldn't make it that will add to the other group. So we're expecting probably at least 15 in November. So I'm super excited. Mexico's opening up over there because they're all just going to crush it. So really exciting.
That's awesome.
Oh, and I'm really excited that my new specialist is on for the first time. Let's say hi to Starla.
Hey, Sarah.
Hello.
Anybody else have a win that they want to share?
Sylvia's listening. Can she mute? Or Kristen, can you mute Sylvia? Thank you.
I'll go ahead and share something.
Oh, yeah, you go, girl.
Okay. I actually just got off the phone talking with my cousin. She is going to be doing the 90-day reset, and we're actually going to be doing some intermittent fasting together. So really excited about that. But she actually had a little bit of a win. She had a coworker that had a really bad reaction off of some anxiety medication, and she felt the comfort to actually share Soul and give her adaptable, and said, I want you to try this. And she instructed her exactly how I talked to her. And I told her, I said, this is exactly how it starts. Like, you share out of the comfort of your heart, and you share what's on you. And to have this lady try this, and she said, you know what, I didn't put any pressure, just have her try it. And if it works, then she can come back and talk to you more about it. But she even gave her pricing and just like everything that worked, within her budget. So just super exciting that it's reaching past me, past my cousin, that it's touching other people. That's all.
Sorry, my phone just started ringing.
She's like, the phone's ringing, the kids are dancing.
Yeah, we got chaos going on. Okay. Anybody else?
I do have a big win, and I don't typically talk about this a whole lot, but I do know that people are always curious. So on my vision board, I had an income goal because obviously I'm going through a separation. My house just went on the market this weekend. I'm going to be moving on November 1st, so things are moving very, very quickly. And so anyways, I obviously have been going for 75K. I have been about $1,300 short for the last 2 months. And so where I could have let that like really wreck me and be super bummed that I didn't hit it, like it's huge because I'm that close, right? But what's really awesome is that I had an income goal of earning over $6,000 a month, and I'm doing that now consistently. And so I just want to tell you guys that because I want you to know. Can you mute Dolores, please? That the potential is huge, you guys. And, you know, we come in and out of seasons with this business, and there's ups and there's downs, and there's excitement and there's tears and there's days where you just want to quit. But like, don't quit. It doesn't, like, no matter what you're going through, you're here for a reason. We are all brought together for a reason, and this can change your life, you guys. You know, I wouldn't be able to move out, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be able to do any of these things if I didn't just like believe in myself. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And again, the power of doing vision boards is really, really, really huge. So if you don't have one, I really recommend doing one once a month. It doesn't have to be super fancy. My vision board right now is a chalkboard that I look at every time that I sit down to do my business. And it literally states like, I want this, 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 and this. And usually when I do that, it comes true. Oh, Jada woke up to me talking. I have to leave my dream house. Which, like, it's not the walls that make the house, right? But this is my dream house. The saddest part is my neighbors. But I pretty much make community wherever I go. And right now it's really hard to explain. I was going to try to keep it, but this is a gigantic house for AJ and I. And so I'm like, I want to like travel and invest, you know, I'm like at a point in my life where I'm not going to just like stay in my house just to be like, oh, I'm in my dream house. And I actually found like my dream townhouse. It's right across the street from the gym that I work at. And so like AJ, I brought him there today and he was like, this is perfect, mommy. This is going to be so awesome. So it's a really great neighborhood. And so I'm really actually excited. I'm actually signing a 2-year lease. So I'm not even buying right now. I'm just going to rent for a little bit and we're just going to like do us, but I'm excited. So thank you for all of you that have reached out. I really appreciate it. Okay. Now, and Tammy, thank you for that. And Jada, hey Jada. I just love her. I also wanted to let you guys know just really quickly that you know that my heart is for these kids with soul. And you see it every day, you know, parents asking like wanting to give up after the first day. Angela actually had a really, really great example today of somebody that was like literally going to throw in the towel. And, you know, she reached out to me and I was like, well, just see if she'll get in a 3-way chat with us. And the way that I'm able to, you know, you guys might not be comfortable saying some of the things that I say to people, but I can say them because it's me. I have major anxiety and I know that the effect that can have on people. And the very first message that she sent, I could tell that she had high anxiety. And usually when the kids won't take soul, it's because they're feeding off of the parent. And so Angela kind of got to see firsthand how I work through that and talk through that. But what I'm doing now, can we mute Katie? Sorry. what I'm doing now is like with Sylvia and her daughter Jada, it gets really hard to actually get on phone calls with people or Zoom calls. And so what I started to do is I send videos to the kids and then they send me a video back, and it's huge, right? So like if you guys have anybody specifically that you know is going through a hard time, please, you guys, this is my jam. Like, put me in a 3-way chat with whoever that parent is. I'm happy to send a message or video to them. And you know, it's huge. She was going to cancel all of her products and send it back and like all of this stuff. And now we're going to be working on getting her off of her medication as well. So that's my thing. I'm happy to help you guys. With that being said, I'm super excited to announce Amanda. She is going to be sharing her story with us. Amanda is just has such a heart for helping others, you'll hear her story, but she is a leader on this team. She had to make some decisions to kind of step back from her business a little bit to put her family first, and you'll hear a little bit about that. But she's been such a great rock for me through all of the stuff with AJ. She actually knows that I'm a little bit of a strong personality, and when it comes to my kid, I'm like mama bear to the 90 millionth degree. So she has been a good voice for me to just like stay calm and trust the process and all of that kind of stuff with the sensory processing diagnosis that we're going through. So Amanda has an unbelievable story to share, you guys, and I'm just going to let you talk, girlfriend.
All righty. So I do get nervous, but I don't usually get nervous about sharing my story. But I've really just been praying about, well, where do I start? Do I start with my soul story? Do I start with like my beach body part? What do I start with? But what I really feel led to start with, because, can you guys hear me? I'm getting used to these Beats headphones, they're weird, is Kristen wanted me to focus on perseverance and overcoming, and that is such a huge part of my story. And as I've talked about this in my head and thought about this, I'm like, well, where am I supposed to start with this? Because what makes sense for my story to share with my team? And it's October, and so this is where I feel led to start. So part of my overcoming, my perseverance, is October 1st, I was able to celebrate 19 years of total sobriety from alcohol. So that is where my story starts, with overcoming that huge area of bondage for me. I started drinking when I was in grade 9. I was an alcoholic by the end of grade 9. And it was 10 long years of complete and utter bondage to alcohol. I needed to drink all the time, every weekend. I did stupid things like all of us do as teenagers, and compromise myself and who I am and what my beliefs are. I love the Lord. And so it was this, back and forth of, I love Jesus so much, but I also love alcohol. And so finally, when I was 23, after I lost my mom, who was my best friend, 6 months later, I was able to finally release that to the Lord. And it was I call it my supernatural act of God. It was the one time in my faith that God literally I gave it to him, and he literally just removed it from me. So I have not gone to meetings. I have not needed the support of AA, and there is no wrong way to do sobriety. Just let that be said. I'm in some AA, I'm in some sober groups, and there's a whole lot of stuff out there about the right way to do sobriety. There is no wrong way to do sobriety. So that is, I guess I feel like that's where I feel led to start with you guys, the perseverance and overcoming from that mountain, and then kind of as we go through these new seasons of our life and what those new mountains look like, we still have the ability to climb them and to summit them and to have freedom at the top of them, and whatever that looks like in your season. So for soul, that looks like I changed companies. Chris and I met, and we were best friends from second one. And she sent me this picture of her and I that it's just one of my favorite pictures. It's one of your favorite pictures too, isn't it? And it's from the moment we met, you know, it's like 5 minutes after we met, we took this picture, and then we started Soul together, and it was just this chemistry that her and I have always had, and it just took off. And she's Kristen, so you see her and everything that she does, and I'm this really insecure, not knowing who I am, not knowing how to do my business, even though I've been in business for a few years. You know, I'm this person that tends to stand in the shadow, and it's like, well, who am I? Like, how am I supposed to be me when I'm so much different from my leader? I'm so much different than my leaders, you know, Steph and Kristen, and some of you that were with me at convention, you guys have heard part of this story. So how do we set ourselves apart, or how do we be ourselves when our mentor is maybe the polar opposite of us? Guys, it is so important just to figure out who you are in your business and figure out who you are in your life and be that. So be you. And so it took, starting with Soul, I was all in. Like, we've all had great growth for a long time. I was thankful to be able to make top 30 and of the company at that time and hit 15K rank. And then kind of my world came to this huge halt when my son was diagnosed with sensory processing disorder. And we really realized that our family was in crisis. My family, it was a train wreck here. It was very hard. There was a lot of, he's 8, he was 7 at the time. And just a lot of stuff going on daily. Like, Kristen would get these messages from me, and it's just like, and she's like, wow, you know, but sensory processing disorder is different for every single person, and it's very hard to explain. And you kind of get these, you know, people that kind of get glaze over eyes of like, well, yeah, that's how every boy acts. Well, no, it's not. You know, it's just different. There's an edge that's just very different that you really have to work with. And so we just needed to take everything off our plate. So me and my husband, we quit all of our extracurricular activities. And for me, Soul is my passion. I am very blessed to be able to stay home. And that is how my perspective for Soul for me. It is a passion project that I get the privilege to work. So when these huge crises in my family happen, I have the ability to step aside. And that, I know that it's not true for everybody, but that's where I am. So I was able to go, you know what, I got to put this here. And, you know, because during stressful times, I don't work. Like, during stressful times, I go flat. I'm done, you know? And so Emerson was in therapy 4 days a week, far away, like half an hour away. So it was just a lot of driving and stuff like that. And finally, we've been able to get things under control. He's graduated from his occupational therapy. And there's just a sense of calm to our home. And because we've all had to do a lot of work here, parenting wise, the girls, the sisters, and I'm finally able to start to come back since convention and a little bit more. I'm able to come back and to Soul and passion. A couple of weeks I've been sleep deprived. So there hasn't been a lot of work going on because Emerson's adjusting to sleeping in his own bed. So we're only getting like a couple hours a night, like 3 hours a night. So that was really rough. But in January, I always pick a word, and I was praying about this word. And so God gave me the words, be still. And the verse that he gave me along with that, there's quite a few in the scripture, but is Joshua 1, 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And it was just such like all the steps I've taken this year have focused around those words of be still. So take a step back. And as I walk back into soul, walk back into my passions, because now there's room in my life for me to pursue my true passions, which is health and wellness and nutrition and herbs and Jesus. And, you know, and it's, what was I going to say? I made sure to keep that be still as a focus. And I had to step back and go, okay, so now that I know what I'm doing and I can step back into my business of soul, what does that look like for me? Who am I? So I want to encourage everyone. And God was very intentional. And if you're not a faith person, that's okay. You can still figure out who you are. And we all should be reading personal development and all these things. Find out who you are in your business. Find out what that looks like. If you haven't tried all the things, you need to try all the things at least once. Like, there's so much great training out there. But if you've never done a vendor show online, do a vendor show. See if that's your jam. You might go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I love it. And maybe you need to try it twice. If you haven't done the training, do the trainings. If you haven't read a personal development book, go to Barnes & Noble and find one that speaks to you. You know, whether it's a business book, Rachel Hollis book, whatever. There's some, or an herb, like a herb book, whatever. But do all the things at least once, so you can figure out who you are in business and what your business is going to look like. Because my business doesn't look anything like Krista's business or Becky's business or Steph's business. It looks like my business. And so you need to figure out what that looks like for you, so you can keep those steps going forward, so you can continue to persevere through your seasons, persevere through your own struggles and crises and all that. That's what I got for you, Steph.
I love it. How about that timing for October, first of all? And did I tell you I'm doing Sober October?
I've never heard of that.
It's actually like Joe Rogan does it. Oddly enough, I've been listening to his podcast a lot just to like learn how to do my podcast better. But anyways, I love it. It's awesome. So proud of you for sharing all of that stuff, and just so proud of you for sharing how you were feeling. Like, you know, saying like, I don't, like, I know that it gets easy for people to compare themselves with other people on the team. And Kristen and I were actually talking today about this, not knowing that you were going to talk about this, but just talking about, you know, we kind of are an exception. And I don't say that to be, to sound icky at all. It's just that this is what we do. Like, we work really, really, really hard. We work on vacation. We work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, this is our thing. And so you need to go lay down right now. Excuse me. What are you talking about? That kid. What kid?
I'll pick up where Steph left off, so we're not just sitting here. So what we are talking about is, you know, just with the way that I was brought up and the way that Steph was brought up, like, it gets really, really frustrating sometimes when you're like, why don't you just do the things and like work through your stress? And why would you want to work on vacation? Like, I grew up where I was telling Steph, you know, my dad, I'm like 5th generation self-employed, whatever, and my dad would be on the payphone at breakfast, lunch, and dinner on vacation. It didn't matter. And you know, I think what Steph was getting at is that you guys don't have to be that person, and that's totally okay. You know, being like me or being like Steph or being like whoever you are, you don't have to be that way. And so I think that's where you're going, Steph. I don't want to.
Sorry. AJ his bedroom's right above my office, so No, it's just like, I know that people will say like, well, I should say this, not even say, I know that people sometimes feel like they're letting us down. And I want everybody to know, like, I'm so glad that you shared that, Amanda, because you and I had disagreements like for a long time where I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Like, I get it that you're saying like, you're trusting, but I'm like, but also he also wants you to work. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand it for a long time. But because, just so you guys know, for me, I think it's just a part of how I deal with my anxiety. I think for so long, there were so many things that I wasn't proud of myself. And I know that this is that thing that I am called to do. And so, I would work always on vacation. I would work every single night until 11:30. But it is also one thing that you have taught me, Amanda. Like, I am much better about that now. I don't work on the weekends. I do delete Messenger from my phone. And I do honor that time because, it was getting to the point where it was crazy. Now, when I went to Michigan and it was like Kristen and me and Amy, Kristen and I sat at the table for hours and we worked. Why? Because we were super duper proud of you guys. And it was, the first of the month and we sat there and we did ranks together. You know what I mean? So there's going to be like that in between, but I'm super proud of you for sharing that with everybody, of saying like, my business doesn't look like Kristen's and it doesn't look like Steph, and I'm never going to work that way. And that's completely okay. And I love how you said to try all of the things, because something that works for me does not work for you, or something that works for you guys. Where's Angela? We were talking about Angela today too. Like, Angela is unbelievable. In fact, I have a proposition for you. I'm going to message you separately. But like, that's the thing, you guys, like,
you cannot figure out who you are if you do not try something. So I've been doing network marketing for 6 years or so. So I've done a lot of things. But if you've only been doing network marketing for 1 year, you have a whole lot of things to try to do, like to try and see if that's your jam, but some of us have done a whole crap ton of stuff, and Kristen's been so good, and you two stuff about getting us back on track. Some of these things can be really distracting, and we stop actually working our business because we're trying to do this, but maybe you're trying to build the business that's, more this way. But if you're just focusing on soul, doing this over here actually doesn't build soul, so anyways, but we need to try the things. Try something new. You have to go out of your comfort zone. Growing a business is not comfortable. It is not comfortable. We have said soul personal development is like PD on steroids. We have cried, we have yelled, we have sobbed, we have spooned, we have done, and we've laughed and laughed and laughed. But it has taken, commitment and time and experience. You just have to try something. Like Kristen just did M2 meeting just this year, you know what I mean? So that was her new, because that terrified her. And I'm like, bring on the happy hours. I can talk to people all day long. And she's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. So.
Well, because Kristen she just also has a gift. Like, people in Amanda, you've always actually been really great, and you're a great part of the reason why we revamp our training and stuff all the time, because as irritated as we would sometimes be, like, what do you mean you don't know how to take the conversation to the next level? You know what I mean? Like, we'd be like, yes, you do. But you're like, but no, I don't. What do I see? You know what I'm saying? But that is good for Kristen and I, because for Kristen and I, we just talk, and then people just, like, some of you guys will put us in a three-way conversation. It happens all the time for me. I'm like, you guys just put them in three-way with one of us. And then literally 30 seconds later, they're ordering and they're like, I've been talking to this lady for 6 months. You get on here for 30 seconds and she orders. And it's not because what you're saying is wrong. Again, that goes back to that third-party verification and all of that good stuff. But anyways, it's just such a great, like, your whole story. There's so much more to that story as well. that's just unbelievable. And, you know, it is, I now accept, you know, like I used to get irritated when people would start the training and then fall off the face of the earth. And I'm like, that's not my place to decide that or to be angry about that. You know what I mean? And it's not that I was angry. It's just that I know that everybody has so much potential. And I'm like, you guys, if you just give yourself 30 freaking days, like you can grow from here to here. Like it's proven, everybody that does it, you know? But it does have to be in the timing, in your timing, in his timing, whatever that looks like. You have to be ready. You have to be confident. You have to believe. And so I just love that you are sharing all of that. And I just want all of you guys to know, like, we are here to support and empower and, you know, do whatever we can do for you guys. But it's a commitment, you guys. This is not easy. Like, I think that's why I'm good at it, because I'm competitive, and if someone says I can't do something or someone expects me to fail, I'm gonna win. That's kind of just a big part of the secret, right? But anyways, I'm super excited about Emerson, and you know, I'm going through it, and that is what's most important. And I do forget to go live in M2s sometimes, or I forget to call people back or whatever, and you know, I'm like, sorry, but that's not what's the top of my priority list today, you know? So know that we're not like, we're super supportive of everything that you guys have going on. So thank you for that. Okay, the only thing I think that we're missing, and I think we'll be able to hop off early, is nominations, right? Nominations for Specialist of the Week. Oh, there's Sarah Bauman's pretty face, and Shannon. Sorry, you guys are like just popping up. Mignon. Hey guys, how's it going, everyone? Tammy. Okay. So just nominations. We do have the happy hour this Wednesday. It is amazing. It's panic versus prevention, and you know, post about it. Post about it tonight. Don't copy and paste Kristen's post. She has really good words. Take somebody else's words and make them your own. Find a different picture. Do a live. You know, the good thing about Soul is that we're not one of those other companies where there's 500 million of us. But a lot of you probably do have some mutual friends. And so it looks tacky if you're posting the same exact thing. So figure out what that means to you. Like, that's another thing about finding who you are in this business. What does prevention versus panic mean to you? You know, has something happened to you? Has a medication caused a reaction in your family? Like, dig a little bit deeper and think about it before you just go posting about it. But post about it. Okay. Sylvia had done her live, you know, somebody's already reached out. So the systems and the things that we're asking you guys to do, we're not just asking you to do them to just be like, hey, I wonder if this would work. I mean, it works. There's a reason that we do this same exact system every single month. So we have that. And then Kristen, we'll have to figure out, are we doing the biz op next week? Yeah. Okay. The business opportunity will be next week too. So for those of you who have completed the full 30 days of the New Specialist Bootcamp, you are welcome to join the new training group that Kristen is doing. You do have to have finished the full 30 days of the New Specialist Bootcamp though, because otherwise it doesn't work. So let us know how you're doing. Let Kristen know if you would like to join. It just started today. And anything else? Anybody have anything else? Anyone have any kids I need to send a video? Let me know. I will do it. They love it. And I love it. They send me videos back. It's amazing. Jada's my girl. She is my first. She started the trend. All right, you guys, have a great night. If you're in the New Specialist training, I'm going to send a link to our group right now so we can jump on in 1 minute. But I love you guys. Have a great week.